The savage situation.
You know, there are a lot of people out there who genuinely feel that Indiana Jones in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which really rolls off the tongue, is arguably one of the worst movies ever. It was such a disappointment. I felt so hoodwinked by the fact that it was this hugely exciting, pivotal moment, 19 years in the waiting since Last Crusade, and they give us aliens. Well, it was just a horrible film. Like it was a horrible film. It was clearly made to cater to a younger audience. So Indiana Jones 5 has a lot of pressure on it. Like, you know, it's Indiana Jones. I am a massive Indiana Jones fan. Like, there's no, it's for me is one of the biggest, if not the biggest hero of mine. We all want it to go back to the old ways. We all want it to go back to the darker time. If you've ever seen the trailer for the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the original trailer, it is like a horror film how dark it is. The biblical element was the key factor, and they need to return to that, return to the glory days. But I'm worried that it's not going to go there. You know, not only have they teamed up with Disney, of course, but they now go on this kind of tangent of we're going through the ages now. I don't know what time period this is going to be set in. But it worries me greatly. Things we know so far: Shia LaBeouf definitely not going to be reprising the role of Mutt in the new movie. Thank God, because I think we can all agree that was a horrendous move. I don't know what happened there. He's had a meltdown since. I don't know if it's because of Indiana Jones, but he's definitely not going to be taking the fedora. Harrison Ford, of course, wants to reprise the role. I don't know whether this is going to be kind of like a baton handing to somebody else. There was a lot of rumors for a long time that Chris Pratt was going to take over as Indiana Jones. We recently saw that Tom Holland's taken the role of Nathan Drake, who's pretty much video games Indiana Jones. So maybe there's going to be, you know, there's going to be a young Indiana Jones in the works. I'm sure there's going to be on the new Disney Plus service later this year, an Indiana Jones series. If it hasn't been announced yet, it's going to be at some stage. But, you know, there we go. Bradley Cooper as well. Bradley Cooper is Indiana Jones. I don't know about that. He's got a strong 5 o'clock shadow, but that's pretty much the gist. George Lucas, exec producer. I mean, he nailed the trilogy, so it's fine. The whole prequel Star Wars thing, we'll forget about that. John Williams is going to be composing the score. I mean, John Williams is pushing like 80 something. I don't know what. So I'm glad that he's back, because the guy is a genius, and he obviously the music is some of the iconic stuff that there is out there as well. Creator Dan Fogelman's going to be writing this. I thought Kasdan's son was. Indy 5 won't be a one-off. So Bob Iger is the CEO of Disney. Obviously, he wants to make, you know, as he's done with Star Wars and the Marvel franchise as well. They want to keep this thing going. It's strong, but I think they're going to have to return to its former glory. I don't know what you're going to get from. I mean, they're saying here that they don't have projects like Salah, an Indiana Jones story. Now, I'd love that. Obviously, John Rhys Davis, who plays Salah in the movies, he was only in Raiders and Last Crusade, and those were deemed as the most successful, whereas Temple of Doom and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull weren't so. And he's like, the only reason it's a success is because I'm in it, because old Gimli from Lord of the Rings here is kicking ass, and that's why. I like the fact that Salah might get his own spin-off series. That'd be quite fun. So now the thing that I'm curious to find out about as well is what's happening with regards to the premise of like the location of this, because I think it all comes down to what the movie is about, what the treasure is at the end of this. It has to be kind of, you know, it's going to have to be kind of biblically related, because that's the stuff which is we want to see. That's the stuff. I mean, obviously we live in an age now where, you know, particularly in schools around the world, you know, we're learning about different cultures, different religions as well. Back in the 80s, it was very much based around, you know, Christianity, Catholicism, that kind of stuff. So I understand that it needs to be universally appealing and can't just kind of necessarily focus on one particular religion, which wasn't the case, because that's the stuff that in the Western world we know all about. The one thing I will tell you is I'm not killing off Harrison Ford at the end of it, says Spielberg. That's good. Oh, look at that scene with Indy and his dad. Oh, it's so sweet, so lovely. What the hell's the Voynich manuscript? It's about 600 years old, despite years of research and analysis. Nobody knows what it is. Okay, so Genius Explorer could figure out the secret of the manuscript. I didn't even know this was a thing. A 240-page document that no one knows how to read. Now, this is the one that I think is very common, called the Spear of Longinus, or the Spear of Destiny. This is according to Christian legend. I think I can see it here as well. That during the crucifixion of Christ, the spear that pierced Christ's abdomen, I think it was, with the blood of Christ still on the tip. Al Capone's treasure. I mean, I don't want that. He's a Chicago gangster from the Prohibition era. I don't want to see that. I want something a bit more kind of, a bit, you know, grittier, a bit kind of more kind of a phenomena, or something supernatural. The white whale. I mean, come on. I don't want to see the white whale. It's been done too many times. Pinocchio did it. I don't want to see that. What, the white whale? Okay, Pashupatastra. The Philosopher's Stone, we're familiar with this from Harry Potter. Alchemy is the art of reforging elements into completely new elements. Now this could definitely have legs. I think that not necessarily the Philosopher's Stone, but a element which could turn things to gold. Theoretically, it's kind of possible, I guess, I'm sure they can write some way of making it legit in the movies, but something which people in the 1960s/70s are going to want, and wealth is going to be one of those things. Noah's Ark. What would Noah's Ark have aboard it? Like some kind of valuable animal or something that belongs in a museum. I don't know. Thor's hammer. I mean, now we're going into Marvel territory, and it definitely looks like this could be a thing. It could be a thing that they get Mjolnir into the mix here, being part of the Marvel universe as well. I mean, would they really cross the streams like Ghostbuster style here and put Marvel in with Indiana Jones? I don't know if that's going to be a good mix. I don't know if I want to see that. I want to keep it separate, I think. I don't want to see that. Oh, Daedalus' Labyrinth. Okay, now we're talking about the Minotaur here, I think. If this is a thing, and you could find the Golden Fleece. Now, the Golden Fleece, baby. Greek mythology is definitely a thing which could appear in Indiana Jones 5. I could definitely see this happening, 100%. The Golden Fleece, Jason the Argonauts, we know about that as well. But the idea that, there's a labyrinth, you've got to kill a Minotaur to get the Golden Fleece. Once again, the Minotaur, is it going to be... It would be cool if the Minotaur wasn't necessarily what we believe the Minotaur to be, kind of half, I guess it was half centaur, half human, I guess, when we want to, watch Time Bandits, you'll see. There's some kind of crossover there where that could be quite an interesting arc. I think that would definitely satisfy people. Greek mythology in general, be it Mount Olympus or whatever, will be a very cool slant on the Indiana Jones universe. You need the Nazis back in there. You need the Germans again. You need them. They're the greatest enemy there ever was in that time period, of course. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. Anything from Uncharted, brilliant. I've heard so many rumors about Atlantis. It's insane. Atlantis is, for me, one of the ones where I've heard so much about this. People fan theorying that it's Atlantis. It's going to be, the sea kingdom, the kingdom under the sea. Now, that's definitely doable, but we've just had Aquaman. Are they going to now jump into the DC kind of universe? I don't know. That's going to be a thing now. They could have done really well had that been the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but they chose to go down the aliens direction, so more fool them. Hitler's zombie corpse! Wouldn't that be a thing? Nazis, I hate these guys. Wouldn't that be a thing? Hitler's zombie corpse is one thing, and the Fountain of Youth. All I hope, though, is that Indy 5, whatever happens with it, it's going to be a movie that we can all get behind and appreciate and put closure onto the series. We were so excited for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. This happened, and we just left us with such a bitter taste in our mouths. And I really, really, really don't want that to happen again. Listen to the fans. What we want. Listen to what we want, Spielberg. If you're watching, listen very closely. Make it about God stuff.